But Bryce, you're a resident artist at the Loudon House and also Lexington Art League and artist in residence for Project Ricochet. Mm-hmm. You operate a studio you called Mad Hundreds, and this is where he publishes his comics and small animation projects as a freelance creator. And this summer he had his debut solo exhibit titled Mad Hundreds Presents Collect, and he also works closely as part of the collective called Six Bombboards, where he had his start as a live artist. Now, this is interesting stuff, and this is stuff that I had never been exposed to until I had the opportunity to watch you. We'll talk a little bit about that, but he travels to exhibit and performs live art in different comic conventions and art showcases. And one of the things, Mark, that he's done is with the Barbershop Initiative, he shows up and he's in the corner and he's actually drawing the barbers cutting the hair, and it's just absolutely fascinating, to the point when the news media shows up, they just end up going over to him and like taking pictures, right? Because it's so fascinating. And also, you've had your work showcased in Brooklyn, New York, and the Kentucky Castle. So Bryce's goal is to help spark the next wave of illustration styles and approaches that showcase, I love this, a merger of different multicultural influences and stylized draftsmanship. I'm getting to say a lot of big words tonight. Bryce, what has been your route to the visual arts, and what is your current inspiration?
It's to condense it as much as I possibly can. As a visual artist, everything kind of started with hip hop and specifically with sequential art, because initially, I was a hyper child, and I was in an environment that wasn't necessarily the best environment to just be running outside in. So the way that my mother wanted to kind of capture my attention early was to, put me on to comic books and things like that. My family, Tony, you could relate to this, we're Caribbean.
Yeah.
So my mother, she had help with learning English and everything through comic books. And that was her entrance to teaching me how to read, was comic books. And then hip hop was something I was just immediately immersed in. So I just connected the two. Graffiti art, all that stuff, just at a very, very young age. Everything was just, it was comics, it was graffiti. Then it was cartoons and graffiti. And then I'm born in '88, so eventually anime started to
Mark and I are crying. We need therapy.
8899.
Right, that's crazy. But eventually when anime and gaming prominently, fighting games, so Capcom and stuff, when all that stuff started to become really popular, that visual style in particular really, really grabbed me. And so I started to run with these different things and just capture my favorite parts of all these things.
I just love this story. And Mark, just to kind of, when I was watching him do this live animation, I've seen caricature people, and you have to sit real still while they draw you. Just imagine all the activity that's in a barbershop and how you have to seal that in your memory, to kind of draw what you're drawing. How does that work?
It's kind of it's weird, because for me it's and this is where the sequential part of things comes into place, because the storytelling aspects of things, it's not about necessarily capturing something photographically as much as it is just capturing whatever that moment is, the energy of that moment. So I'm not really looking at being exact as much as what is it that I felt in this moment? What stood out in this moment? So it might be you sitting in this chair a particular way, and maybe a half hour ago you made a pose, and then kind of both of those things get combined into a scene that technically never happened, but
it happened.
It happened. Yeah.
Well, you say the barbershop. No, when he captures performances,
yes.
that's the people he's captured me rapping and created a whole thing. Was that was when he captures somebody's moving and performing, and that's a whole nother level to it.
I'm just so grateful for both of you all. You've opened my mind to a lot of different things that I never thought I would see. And all this right here in Lexington, Mark.
It is. Well,
you.